Hi, I'm Assistant Professor James Kwan. I am the Assistant Chair for the students here in the School of Chemical and Biomedical Engineering. And I teach both chemical engineering and bioengineering. In chemical engineering, I teach heat and mass transfer. And in bioengineering, I teach cardiovascular engineering. So SCB offers two different types of degree tracks, one for bioengineers, or BIE, and one for the chemical and biomolecular engineering, or CBE. Now, within each of those different tracks, you have the opportunity of also selecting a minor, or even a double degree, or even a double major, one in either business, or for example, in your minor, you could look at food science and technology. And the double degree is mostly with economics. Again, depending on which track you decide to go on, there are a number of different career aspects. You could look at, for CBE, going into oil and gas. You could look at even going into pharmaceuticals, but generally you're looking at jobs that revolve around process control, or what they call process engineering. You could also, again, looking at oil and gas. Within that, there's a number of different areas you could go into, even as far out from a field agent all the way down, or all the way across to looking at sales and logistics. With the bioengineers, because of its background, students have a tendency to move more towards, again, biomedical engineering, bioengineering. They tend to revolve more around the pharmaceutics, but it can be quite diverse, even dipping into oil and gas in some cases, or working for 3M. So I've had the opportunity to interact with a number of the different alumni and a number of the different students, and it really is quite a broad range of jobs. Some of the most interesting ones I found were those who ended up working for companies like ExxonMobil, but not in the conventional engineering areas. Instead, they ended up working more towards the business side of things and the logistics, and actually trying to understand and set oil prices dependent on current market needs across all of Southeast Asia. And I found that quite interesting because it took their ability to analyze fairly complex problems in combination with the technical knowledge of either chemical engineering or even, in some cases, bioengineering. One of the things that I think really does set us apart is both the focus not on just the theory. There are definitely professors such as myself who really like to emphasize the theory, but there are a number of opportunities to really explore into the industrial side of things, which many universities tend not to always move towards. So there's a large number of labs that you will be conducting from year one all the way until your final year project for the BIE, or the final design project for the CBE in year 4. So that hands-on knowledge, I think, sets most SCBE students apart from other chemical engineering universities and other biomedical engineering. But there are certain programs that enable students to actually conduct their internship abroad. So they go to London, or a lot of people end up going into Scandinavia, Sweden, Norway, and have an opportunity to spend time in a company, a startup, or whatever opportunities that they have there career-wise. And really it's more of a cultural exchange, I would say. We give the students the capability to really see what the real world is all about. And many of the students who come back realize that what we learn here isn't just the theory that is then going to be used in your job, but more also towards the interpersonal skills, the ability to manage time, the ability to manage stress, to be able to perform under duress. These are all very useful skills that are not explicitly taught in the curriculum. And even within the SCBE, there are also SCBE clubs. There are SCBE students clubs. We've got a number of different activities within the SCBE that are student-driven, one being the Chemi-Car competition, which is an international competition where students try to develop effectively a chemically driven car to drive a certain distance within a certain time. There's also various other activities, like we do a lot of fermentation processes, making yogurts, cheeses, and even brewing beer, and there are various competitions within the SCB for that, and those are also quite popular amongst the students and the professors, I'd like to add. The purpose of university, in my opinion, is to challenge students both intellectually but also socially, and basically prepare them for the real world. Students who leave university without experiencing what it's like to actually work in the industrial sector, even if they decide not to do that as part of their career, but have no experience, that are going to be woefully unprepared.